We've got a total body workout today using just some resistance bands. First circuit that we have, our first two circuits are gonna be a warm-up. So the first one, where we're gonna warm up that lower body a little bit. We're gonna go 2 rounds, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest. That 10 seconds of rest is also your transition time into the next movement. So it will be quick, but we'll get that heart rate up. We'll start feeling good. Anything with a star next to it means that it's gonna be unilateral or working on one side at a time. So this whole first circuit, we'll do the first round going in one direction, and then when we do the second round, we're gonna go in the opposite direction or opposite side. And then with this one in the third circuit, same thing, we're gonna do alternating every single time, but I'll remind you guys of that as we get there. So for our first circuit, we're gonna go with some lateral walks to start. You're gonna take your small band and you're gonna band up around the ankles. You're just gonna walk down. You want to keep tension in your band so that you're feeling that outer glute. We're gonna go all the way down one set. Next time you revisit it, that's when you're gonna go back in the opposite direction. So each set that you do, you're just stepping in one direction, and then the next time you see it, you're gonna go in the opposite direction. After that, we're gonna go with some monster walks. So for these monster walks, again, we're gonna go down for one set, back for the other one. To start, we'll go forward, slight diagonal, keeping tension through that band the whole time. Your first round, you're gonna go down. Your second round, you're gonna step it back. Feel those glutes working as you step it back, keeping tension in the band the whole time. Last thing we have in this first circuit are gonna be our kickbacks. So we are gonna be on all fours. You can grab a mat or a pad if you have one. We'll be on the ground. We're gonna band up around the foot. So it'll be the same band that you use, but this time around the foot. From here, we're gonna have our hands on the ground for stability. We're gonna kick back with just one leg the whole time. Squeeze through that glute as you kick. Control on the way back. Feel that glute as you go. Once you hit that second round, that's when you'll switch to the other side. Our second circuit is gonna be the same timing, so 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We only have 2 movements, so we are gonna do this for 3 rounds. We will be using the long band for this circuit. First thing is gonna be our pull-aparts. This is gonna help open up and stretch out that chest. So we'll just hold the band, reach out until the band touches your chest. You should feel that stretch in your chest. Go for 30 seconds. Doesn't need to be fast or quick, but just fill that time at a pace that feels good for you. After that, we're gonna go through some pass-throughs. So we're gonna keep the band in the same position. This time we're just gonna go overhead, feel that stretch, come all the way around, or whatever range of motion feels good for you. We'll get some pass-throughs. All right, so getting into the bulk of our work, we're gonna start in our lower body circuit. We're gonna go for 4 rounds. It's gonna be 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds off. After that, every single round, you're gonna take a minute break. So your 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of transition and rest. Once you complete all 3 movements, you'll get a minute rest and you'll repeat for 4 rounds. So the first thing up is gonna be our Pallof Press. We're gonna use our long band. You'll wanna attach it to a post or something else similar. We're gonna step out so that we have a little bit of tension in the band. From here, we're gonna press out and then we're gonna come back in slowly. Nice and slow, stabilizing through that core. After you finish that first round, you'll take 15-second break. You're gonna go into your next movement, which is a wall sit. So we'll be on the wall. We're holding for 45 seconds, keeping tension in the whole body. Get those legs down to parallel, those thighs parallel with the ground, 90 degrees, bending in the knees. Last thing we have in this circuit is gonna be an RDL, and we are gonna be using the band in the same spot that we did with the press. So we're gonna have the band around our hips this time. Step out as far as you need to have tension. From here, we're hinging at those hips, squeezing those glutes at the top. We're working for 45 seconds, make sure that core stays tight and that back stays flat. Once you complete all 3 exercises, you'll take a minute break and you'll repeat that sequence for 4 rounds. Don't forget, when you go to that press, switch to the other side every round so you get 2 rounds on each side with the press. For our last circuit, we're gonna do a little bit more work for the upper body. First thing up is gonna be our push-up. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can use your mini band for assistance. Place it above your elbows. It'll act as almost like a trampoline spring as you go through your push-ups. So we're following the same sequence, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We're gonna go down into that push-up for 45 seconds. If you're more advanced and you don't want the assistance from the band, feel free to go just your own body weight as you go through those reps. Of course, if you need to drop down to your knees, that is always an option for modification as well. After that, we're gonna go into a straight arm pull down. So our long band is attached up above us. From here, we're grabbing onto the band, we're stepping back a little bit, we're bending those knees, sending those hips back. Emphasis in straight arm. Your arms are staying straight the whole time, reaching down and feeling that stretch in your lats, in your back as you go up. We're rocking for 45 seconds. This is not to be confused with a tricep extension, which is what we're gonna do to finish us off. So keep in mind that first straight arm should be straight. Once we go into those tricep extensions, that's when we can add that bend into our elbows. Light bend in the knees again, hips can be a little bit back. From here, we're coming down, releasing, squeezing those triceps at full extension, releasing. Taking 60-second breaks after each round, so the same sequence as that circuit before, and we're going for 4 rounds.